10 to 4, Friday Arvo. I can't remember what I've said in my phone. I just know that the last video was Monday. Since Monday, we were correct in trying to prepare for the term, or close to it, because midweek, I think it was Wednesday, I think it was actually Tuesday, Premier came out and said lockdown for Sydney has been extended for another 4 weeks. So 28th of August, I think they said. And it was because numbers were climbing. COVID cases shot up to 239. And I think it was somewhere between 60 or 80 people infectious out in the community. And they just said, like, if the numbers keep going like this, who knows how long we'll be, but we're going into lockdown for another 4 weeks. Construction's allowed to restart tomorrow, but there's a fair bit of restrictions on that. The day before was 211, and then the 239. Thursday was back down to about 170, 177. Today's cases was 172. But the most ridiculous thing of it all, Greater Sydney's going into lockdown for another 4 weeks. School's still working and remote learning and that sort of thing. But Year 12 students for the HSC will be returning to school face-to-face learning on the 16th of August, so in 2 weeks' time. And then they said they're going to work to get all these HSC students vaccinated. And that's being set up from tomorrow. Pulling Pfizer vaccines from out in the central west areas, pulling them back into Sydney for all these HSC students. A lot of our kids are going, are they going to force us to get a vaccine? Exactly the same as last time. Our cases are climbing. It's getting ridiculous. We've got to lock down. People aren't following the rules. We have to lock down for another 4 weeks. Oh, but schools can go back. Pfizer's recommended for people between 40 and 60. A reporter asks, well, high school teachers going to be prioritised for vaccinations because we've got to go back within 2 weeks. And then they're going, oh, everybody can come and get an AstraZeneca. It doesn't work that way. Once you've had a Pfizer, you've got to have a Pfizer. About to go on a ramble, I think. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do in 2 weeks' time. Teachers' Union is going in to bat for us. It's ridiculous that numbers are climbing, cases are climbing, the city's being locked down, red zone schools are being told you can only have 5 staff. But we're going to let Year 12 come back with their teachers. Some people are saying, are they coming back to their regular timetable? And that's a hard no. It'll be probably something like we did last year, where certain classes might come in one afternoon, other classes might come in another afternoon. So they do like a 3-hour session, maybe a 2-hour session. It's a bit ridiculous to say, let's be stuck in a room for 3 hours. But it's mainly targeted at practical subjects where the kids don't have access to tools, machinery, materials, art materials, all that sort of thing. It's not meant for study groups, so they're not just meant to come in and sit in a room and have lessons like that, which could be easily done online. It's mainly for those practical subjects. Kids will be back at school on the 16th. I don't know how many times they'd expect to be going in the 2 weeks there, and then their projects are due the week after lockdown should be lifted, if it gets lifted on the 28th of August. Had this discussion with some of the other Year 12 teachers who are concerned. We've been told to reconsider doing trial exams and think of another way of having that final assessment. Year 11 final exams are cancelled. We've got to think of another sort of assessment that they could do because they may not be back at school. The toughest decision here is prioritising. I really want the best for our students, but I think my family's health is my priority. And while Sydney's been in lockdown and all the kids have been stuck at home, everybody outside Sydney and New South Wales have been at school. They've been under a level 2 restrictions, so masks at school and that sort of thing, but they've been at school, normal lessons, everything like that. So there's all these kids who live out in the west or North Coast or South Coast who have come back from the holidays and where projects would have been due in 4 weeks, but they've also gained the extra 4-week extension. But they've been in the workshops. They've been at school. They've had the support of their teachers in person, whereas all the kids in Sydney schools, Western Sydney and Southwest Sydney schools to be more precise, have all been on harsh lockdowns. Teachers aren't allowed to leave their area to go to school. Teachers aren't supposed to be in school. Students are not allowed at school. I also managed to see some of the New South Wales health statistics for COVID cases in Sydney. I'll say New South Wales, but it's pretty much Sydney. Easy. And they broke it down by age brackets over last 24 hours, last 7 days, and last 14 days. And looking at the last 14 days column, since we've all gone into early lockdown, the age group with the highest rate of COVID infection is the 20 to 29 age bracket. Second highest age group is the 30 to 39 age group. Third highest age bracket is the 10 to 19 age bracket. And I'm going to assume that it's probably more the upper end of that age group. But so the age group with the third highest rate of infection in Sydney is high school students, especially in red zones, and they want to put them back into school. And even though they're going, oh, but we're going to get them vaccinated, they say that it takes at least 3 weeks for the vaccinations to do anything, to start to have an effect in your system. And they're only just starting this tomorrow, which is 2 weeks away from their opening date. And they won't get through everybody. And the one thing they said is, we're going to open up Sydney Stadium, football stadium, the Olympic Stadium, and that'll be the new vaccine centre for these high school teenagers. Trying to pull every kid in from all over Sydney is going to turn that into a massive super spreader event. We passed 2 other people with dogs today. First one, they both went nuts. Second one, Sam was better. He went nuts. Got to get that out of him.